Good morning to our first Board of Supervisors meeting in April. If you'll stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome those members of the public who are here, as well as staff. Our first item of business would be approval of the minutes of our regular board meeting and work sessions held on March 20th of this year.
So moved.
I'll second it.
And I'll make that unanimous. That carries. The next item is on behalf of Judge Palmer. The item of business is for some agreements.
Mr. Chairman, I anticipated him being here, so I can do my best to take this item, or we can do however you'd like.
Well, at the packets we received, the request is fairly well documented. So go ahead and if you'll present that.
Thank you. I can do that, Mr. Chairman. This request is to approve a contract with two individuals, Stephanie Newton and Ricardo Garena, for weekend jail initial appearances and court proceedings. And just a little more information on this. Each weekend, the judges take a rotation. Our four judges right now, Judge Peterson, Judge Ragland, Judge Palmer, and also the municipal court magistrate also is in that rotation. So there are four of them. And they're requesting to get some assistance from two other people. And a few years ago, there was a bill passed to allow what they call initial appearance masters to take care of these initial appearances. And as you are aware, after someone is arrested within 24 hours, they have the ability to be able to be in front of a judge, and bond is set and an initial judgment is set. So what these two contracts are for just that, to have these individuals as initial appearance masters, where they can take some of that burden off of our other four judges and fill in time of need, and also, from what I understand, jump into that rotation. So our judges, rather than once every 4 weeks are doing the weekend initial appearances, would be once every 6 weeks. From what we understand, it's about 2 or 3 hours a weekend. They group these up as much as they can. Basically, on the 23rd hour, they'll gather up everyone that was arrested, and they'll see as many as they can on Friday and Saturday, and then whoever is arrested on Sunday would, of course, get their initial appearance on Monday, because it would be within the 24 hours. So these two individuals would help with that load on the weekends. It's for $30 an hour. From what we anticipate, 2 to 3 hours a week. So you're looking at $60 to $90, I guess, twice every 6 weeks.
Thank you. Any discussion or questions?
No, just in discussions, it sounds like this is needed and it's much warranted. It's a minimal cost, so I don't have any objection to it.
Okay. I am, as officers of the court, I don't think either of these people have either served as JP or as judges, and so I was a little concerned. And if Judge Peterson hadn't recommended and approved this, I would be reluctant to have people representing the county who are not, setting bond. And because some of that is critical to have people who are not, I just don't have a comfort level. But with Judge Peterson's approval, then I guess I'm on board. Is there a motion one way or the other on this?
Chairman, it seems like a good way to get it done, short of having to hire someone or have someone full-time or part-time, and you have to make it, I understand you'd have to make it a little more in order to make it worth anyone's while just to do a 2 or 3 hour a week job. And I didn't think about your reservation, Supervisor David, but that's a good thought. I don't know what the answer to that is, but like you said, with Mike Peterson wanting to do it, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve these agreements for court service providers with Stephanie Newton and Richard, I don't know how to say his last name.
I think it's
Garenia for weekend jail, initial appearance in court proceedings.
And I will second that.
I'll make that unanimous. Thank you. Next, we have our Health Department Director, Brian Douglas, who was the only person in a white shirt and tie on the, there was a accident recreation, and there he was in a white shirt. Everything else is covered in gore, and here's Brian in a white shirt and tie. Go to the Gila Herald for the picture.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, everyone. It's requested the board approve hiring Claire Santos as a contractor to provide mental health consultation services and provide service and support for food access and nutrition for the remainder of fiscal year 22-23, or until the end of June. And funding for Claire will come from the United Way grant. Claire's been a United Way Vista for the past year here in Graham County, and we have worked with Claire very closely over this past year. There's a few things that we'd like to wrap up at the end of the year, and that she'd like to be part of that. Claire, her responsibilities as a Vista ends on April 10th, and we'd like to bring her on April 11th and just have her work through the end of June to wrap up our community health assessment and community improvement plan.
Very good. Discussion or questions?
If there's no other discussions, I will make a motion to approve an agreement with Claire Santos to provide mental health consultation services and provide service and support for food access, nutrition, wellness activities, and to Gila Valley Food Coalition for Graham County.
I'll second it.
I'll make that unanimous and add the comment that Claire has been integral and invaluable as assisting with these programs, and especially with the mental health collaborative. And so wish she'd stay here and not move back to, I think, Minnesota or Wisconsin. Okay, up when she was done in the end of this fiscal year. But yeah, I'm pleased to make that unanimous, and please give her our regards and thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Next, we're Hannah, our elections clerk and assistant county clerk, has got a request for a little software help.
Good morning. I am requesting approval of an agreement with Agenda Quick Software for their agenda management services. And this is in efforts to upgrade our agenda process. Both the IT department, planning and zoning, who is involved with creating agendas and minutes also, we've been reaching out to various agenda management software companies to discuss solutions. We had 3 that we were able to receive a quote from, and of the 3, we do feel confident that the JCG Technologies, which offers the Agenda Quick, will meet what we need as the flexibility, time-saving process, and the quick implementation that we need. So I bring this before the board for their approval.
Thank you. Discussion?
It just sounds like it'll make Hannah's life a lot easier with this and simplify the whole process of the agendas. So I think it'll be a valuable tool.
And it's a relatively nominal cost.
Right.
So, very good. I'll entertain a motion.
Chairman, I'll move that we approve the Agenda Quick software agreement for the agenda management software services.
I will second it.
Thank you. I'll make that unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you for your work. Next, Steve McGoy with a little business as far as the planning and zoning commissioners.
Good morning, gentlemen. First item I have today is the reappointment of Mark Claridge to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Mr. Claridge has been on, I did not find the application date. I didn't have enough time to look into it, but he's been there at least 20 years. I found where he was been there in 2002. So Danny is requesting that he be reappointed, and I agree, he's an awesome asset.
Discussion?
None here.
I'll entertain a motion.
Chairman, Mark does a great job, very thoughtful, and been doing it for a long time, and I appreciate him serving. So I'll move, and he's willing to do it, so I'll move that we reappoint Mark Claridge to the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Second.
I'll make that unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
And please thank Commissioner Claridge.
Yes. My second item is a special event liquor license for Arizona Fan Fest. This is one day shy of having to been done like the last one and ratified, but this has to be to the state later today, so we'll see how they pull that off. But this is, I believe David Bell is the applicant for Arizona Fan Fest, and they're planning Friday 4 to 10 p.m. and Saturday noon to 10 p.m., the 14th and 15th at the fairgrounds, and ask for your approval of a recommendation to the State Liquor Board for this.
And the nature of Fan Fest, not that it's critical to the application, but is this like a comic book, cosplay kind of
Yes,
gathering?
I believe so.
Okay. I think of furry people stumbling around drunk, so no, but that's my imagination. Any discussion?
None here.
What could you say? All right, I'll move that we approve our special event liquor license for the Graham County Chamber of Commerce at the Fairgrounds, April 14th in 2023.
I'll second it.
I'll make that unanimous.
Thank you. I'll be back with more later.
Thank you.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning, Steve.
As you're aware, our software has been for the last 20-some years, PubWorks, to keep track of our spending and what we do out at the highway yard, all the work. They've since sold to G-Works, so we need to sign another agreement with them for tech support and all that good kind of stuff, but other than that, nothing's really changing. Still do the things we do, but it's a good PubWorks has always been a good program to us, so anyways, just asking for your approval.
Very good. I note this is a formality since they're required, and you really don't have a choice. It's either yes or no, and start from scratch with another provider. Fortunately, the cost is in line with the previous. It didn't come right out with a huge. Any other discussion or comments?
None here.
We did check a couple other companies just to make sure that, and they are a lot more expensive, so.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve of the master service agreement and ordering document with G-Works GSI Workshop LLC due to acquisition of current PubWorks software program.
I'll second it.
Make that unanimous. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, guys.
Next, if you representing the sheriff's office, and we'll have Dustin present this next item, which is phenomenal news.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll start out, and then I know Under Sheriff McCormick's too had a presentation on this. But several months ago, Jeff McCormick's found out from DEMA that they had some grant money available, quite a bit of funds available, and Jeff, worked with Scott Howe quite a bit, and also McCoy Hawkins, and they put a grant together, and Jeff did a wonderful job on this grant, and we were granted $3,103,345 to purchase communication equipment and law enforcement equipment. And I'll stop there and yield to Jeff. I know he has more details on this, and he's done the bulk of the work, and we really appreciate all his efforts and everything that went into this.
I didn't know I was doing a presentation. I feel like I'm in church. Got called from the stand. First of all, the first thing I'd like to say is how much joy it was to work with McCoy. I'm just kidding. But yeah, we had the opportunity to do this. It was brought to our attention, and we were able to secure some funding for the communication system that we're hoping to upgrade to improve the whole first responder for the entire valley. So this benefits every agency, fire department, as well as Lifeline, and that they'll have the opportunity to have better communication with us and us with them. Also, we had the opportunity to secure some license plate readers. It is not photo radar. There are some people that believe that that's the same. It is not. This will give us the opportunity that if we are looking for a particular vehicle, that if it passes any of those cameras, if we enter that information, we'll be able to know when and what direction it was going. Our hope is that we are starting to see a lot of traffic from Cochise County and also from the border issues. Also, too, if any major event happens in our valley, we should be able to, if we have vehicle information or a plate, possibly determine if they've left the valley yet, and if so, what direction and what time, that will be able to assist us. This is something that the sheriff has wanted for quite some time, and we were able to secure some funds to allow us to do that. Also, too, selfishly, one vehicle, which will help us with our fleet situation. And then, as Mr. Welker said, the remainder of the grant money is to purchase the upgraded radios that will be needed for this conversion, this digital radio conversion, which should last us hopefully for some time unless technology changes. And it was definitely a team effort. There was a lot of people involved that helped me write that, so it was very appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, any discussion, comments?
Just what a great asset to the county, and really appreciate your hard work on this, your whole team, and the license plate machine or whatever it is. That's going to be a great addition and really help you guys on the road and keep us safe. So just hats off to you. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
No, much of that we were planning on spending other money on to do, so that's great. And the license plate thing, leaving the county line, that kind of ruins like half of every country song that talks about just going over the county line. So now everyone will know. But.
Well, it'll people, the Border Patrol has been doing this statewide, and this just gives us the ability in-house to track if there's a silver alert or amber alert with vehicles that just assists statewide in checking to see if those vehicles have come through through Graham County, and abductions, all kinds of things. So this, and it also scans, I guess there's alerts for stolen vehicles, so there'll be all kinds of opportunities to suppress crime, and that is invaluable. And then the upgrades to our 911 system and increasing the range of our radios, that's a real blessing. So thank you very much. I'll entertain a motion on that item.
Yep, thank you, Jeff, and the Sheriff's Department. I'll move that we approve the agreement with the State of Arizona Department of Emergency and Military Affairs to reimburse purchase of communication and law enforcement equipment for $3,103,345.
I will second.
And I'm pleased to make that unanimous. Motion carries. Next item is regarding economic development in Graham County, an application as agent for this group to apply for a grant.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well put. This submittal is focused around the Graham County Economic Development Organization. This was a economic organization that was formed about 10 years ago by the county manager, city manager, town managers, and also several large business owners at the time. I would say for lack of funding and organization, the organization went silent for a while. Over the last year or two, we've been trying to resurrect this organization and get it going again. And the chief hurdle that we've, or a couple of hurdles that have always been in the way is how to fund the strategies that we need to put in place and someone to put those strategies in place. So we have about, and the board's well aware, 20 to 25 years worth of studies that have economic development studies, 5 or 6 at least, that identify strategies that need to put in place to truly start an economic development effort in Graham County, which truly has never been done holistically on a county level. So we are optimistic and hopeful that this is going to be what really kicks us into gear. The county, we've been linked arms on this. The cities and towns are involved and committed to this effort. And United Way has proven to be committed to this, as economic development is one of their priorities in funding. So this grant is asking for $290,000. There's an extensive budget that goes into this, and this is to ask that the county partner with the Graham County Economic Development Organization on this grant application for $290,000 to implement economic development strategies in Graham County.
Very good. And if I understand correctly, the $290,000 is the request, a grant amount request. And Graham County historically, at least for the last couple of years, has contributed about $35,000 budgeted each year for the economic development as a partner in that. So if we go ahead and approve another $35,000, the rest of the funding is basically going to go to the group, and our involvement is basically that's to continue to support it, but not to be the economic development arm. Is that correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I think you worded that appropriately. I sit as a president of that organization,
right.
And the other managers sit as officers as well. So that will continue to be our role. But yes, put very well. We've budgeted $35,000. I don't anticipate us spending that $35,000 this year, but hopeful to budget it again next year. That would go into this spot. We've budgeted that $35,000 every year for the last 3 or 4 years, but never actually spent it, hoping to get to this point to actually contribute to this large effort. So we hope to budget again for next fiscal year and actually move forward with this project, big project.
Very good. Well, I know this is right in Supervisor Smith's wheelhouse. This is his area of expertise, and for you too. So I'll entertain a motion, and I definitely support it.
Well, I think this is exciting for us. We finally moving away from just the talk of an economic development organization, and I think this is going to help us just move forward. And the valley definitely needs this in our community. It'll be a great stride to help us to search out more economic development, and I think we need to note that each town is also contributing to this fund as well. Thatcher, Pima, Safford are all, along with the counties, sending monies into this, and that needs to be noted. But it's a program that we can't go wrong with, so I'm very excited to support it.
Very good. Supervisor Smith.
Actually, I wonder if I should recuse myself. How do I not participate in the conversation yet?
That's really easy.
That something that's been a passion of mine for a long, long time, and I also serve on the United Way Board that would decide whether the county got the money to then give to the EDO, so.
I'll make it easy. I'll move that we approve the application for grant money from, for the United Way grant to support the Graham County Economic Development Organization.
And I will second that.
And with you recusing yourself, that makes it unanimous. Thank you. We're excited. I'm excited.
Me too.
Yeah. Okay. And Vance is too. That's part of his area as the in the Chamber of Commerce. Next, we have two very pleasant and two of the nicest but the hardest working people in Graham County to present to us about REITs across America. And that would be Kat Strickland and Leslie Cunning, and they were, last year I was able to help participate in that, and what a noble and wonderful effort. Over 1,000 wreaths were placed to honor throughout the various cemeteries, placed to honor the deceased veterans, so thank you. If you'll step to the podium. Kat, are you gonna sit this one out? Okay.
She's always my moral support. Thank you guys for this amazing opportunity, but REITs across America is important for a lot of us, and sorry. I finally found out where I need to be, and REITs across America helps to remember all of our veterans that have gotten forgotten. We've laid REITs last year, like he said. We laid almost 1,100 at 13 cemeteries here in Graham County, and a lot of them was not maintained. So, of course, we had to go and spend some time with them, but all of our donations and sponsors and everything, in a few months, we really did get 1,100 out of 1,800, and this year we're going even more. We already have 13 cemeteries confirmed from last year. We are being reinstated again this year. So this year we're trying to get the last 13 cemeteries here in Graham County, aside from the 2 that's on the reservation. We've turned in paperwork, we're just waiting on approvals. But last year was a little bit hard because when I was out looking for sponsors and donations, people didn't really know what this was all about. And through all of our research, these people do a lot. It's in every state, including Hawaii. And their mission all year is to remember, honor, and teach, so that people can remember the veterans and what our freedom entails. People don't always know, but I've learned a lot this last year, and being part of American Legion and for REITs across America, this is pretty important. And we just wanted to get it out to the community that every little bit helps, whether it's $1 or $5. I will take it and I will bundle it up with everybody else's and take whatever we can get and make sure that no one is forgotten. Our REITs went up this year from $15 to $17 because of the cost of shipping and all the extras that they do, because like I said, they do make sure that it's a year-round program and they educate people, and they are trying to get as many veterans accounted and taken care of in every state. Every REIT that we get purchased, we get, or for every 2 REITs we get purchased for $34, we get 1 extra. So every little bit helps, and we just want to get the word out that we are trying to get for every last veteran, and we take help in any form too. So if you guys want to come and volunteer your time to help lay REITs, or even get the cemetery set up so we can lay the REITs, I am more than willing to take all the help we can get. I am grateful, and I just want the information out there. We have a website on Facebook. We are part of Arizona Graham County for REITs across America. And if you guys need me, you can call me anytime, and I mean anytime. My phone number is on the form, and you can call me. I'm available.
Thank you. Will you take a few questions?
Yes, I can.
Sure. Great program. Do you have access to all the county cemeteries, or do you need assistance with getting approval for all the county cemeteries?
No, we have a listing.
Okay.
We got the listing last year with Kat's help and Charlotte Reynolds and everybody else, because this is a community effort. So we got like the VFW involved, we got Lions Club, Rotary Club. We're taking anybody in the community that wants to help. You don't have to be part of an organization, you can do private, we have meetings, just let me know and you can be included.
Okay, and in addition to your educational component that you just
Yes.
delivered us, you're also appealing both publicly and to public entities
Yes.
for funding, assistance with funding.
Yes, we are.
Thank you.
And I've already dropped off a lot, because like I said, last year we came in a little bit late, so this year I went and sent it out to the businesses. We put together the same thing that I've just given you guys, a letter of what we are, the sponsor forms, the information on the back is the facts for the REITs across America. And the last page, I made sure that you guys had the EIN number, so if you guys like to do any research on what REITs across America does, it is all available. Any other questions, any other forms you need, I can always get it, so you can just let me know.
Thank you.
I just think this is amazing. Thank you, ladies, for doing this and honoring our vets. There's nothing more valuable to this country than our vets and the things they've done for us. And so my appreciation certainly goes out to you, and you'll certainly get my support.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate all of you guys, and I appreciate this opportunity. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Very well done. Next, we have a financial statement audit report for fiscal year 2022.
I believe this is an April Fool's joke because this should be on the May 15th agenda, not today.
Okay. Well, I would move that we table this to a time certain future meeting of May 15th, this agenda item.
I'll second it.
Okay.
I'll make it unanimous.
Okay, thank you. Next, opportunity to give a statement of current events, things that we've participated in the last couple of weeks. It's been busy. We'll start with our county manager.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll start with our many projects that we have going on. I'll start with fairgrounds. The installation of the 4 exhibit buildings is moving along. They finished exhibit building 1, insulating and painting it. It looks really good. And this week they're starting on 2 and 3. So they're shooting for April 15th as a finish date. So we're hopeful they'll finish that. And as far as the painting goes, they really hit the ground running on that and have been focusing on the fairgrounds. And once they finish there, they'll be heading over to the rodeo arena. So they've really been moving fast. One really big project for engineering in the highway yard is the Cottonwood Wash crossing on Klondike Road. This was a unbudgeted project that came upon us, and one of those that we had to stop a lot of what we were doing to take advantage of the available money that came with this, basically funding the entire project. But just wanted to provide an update, and I'm sure Michael will give us more, that they had a successful pre-construction meeting on Thursday and had 5 contractors show up. So we were excited to have that many contractors interested in that challenging project. We're also have 3 projects at the fairgrounds that we're currently soliciting quotes on. All 4 of those exhibit buildings are in great need of recoding, and that's actually a pretty big project to do. So we have quotes coming in on that. Also putting a new roof on the big gazebo up at the fair, at the ponds, the wedding gazebo, and also on the bathroom right next to it. And we also budgeted for building a awning off of the ballpark concession stand, which all of those are in the process. We've met with 3 contractors, and we're waiting on quotes for all of those to award and race to the finish line before the end of the fiscal year to get those done. Couple updates on the respite center. I received an update this morning. I have not physically been there lately, but they are done with the demolition. They're done with the framing and electric work, and this week we'll be working on the plumbing and HVAC. So they're moving quite nicely on the interior on that. Planning and zoning had a big week. We're our new hearing officer is Gary Griffith, and he had his first hearings, and from what I heard was fairly successful. We had, as they arrived, a handful that were compliant as they walked in the door, so it was effective getting them to that hearing officer. I believe on Steve's report, 4 of them received judgments, which would be fines and other penalties. And they're still working with a few of those, but what I heard is a successful first round with our new hearing officer, and we're optimistic as you see those numbers. They've been active, and it also feels like we're getting some more compliance out of our letters as well, so that's good to see. Then lastly, I just wanted to point out the highway yard, our big chip seal project, dirt to chip seal this year is 12th and 47th. And they've been working hard on those, getting those ready for a chip seal coming up real quick. So appreciate the highway yard working on those, and that's my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Supervisor Smith?
I'll just say, I'm thrilled that we're getting some progress on the hearing officer process. That's a big deal, and I'm really appreciative of everyone moving that forward. Being in office, running for office, I catch a lot, and I know the rest of the board does, people that come to us and have certain properties. There's the same properties all the time that they ask, why can't that be cleaned up? Why isn't there something that can be done? And so it's difficult, and it takes everyone, so I appreciate everyone moving that hearing officer process forward. We kind of breezed through the approval of the Fan Fest liquor license, but that could or should be a top-notch event, actually. I've never been to one, but I understand that they're filling the whole ag building on both sides with vendors. They have that many vendors that want to come to the event, so that's pretty neat. And then the recent high school rodeo that we had, just want to say thanks to the fairground staff and everyone. That's an extra burden that comes around every year, but I've heard from 3 different businesses, 1 coffee shop, 1 home goods type store. Pollock's will tell you that a lot of those people have $500,000 wrapped up in their truck and trailer. And so when they go into Pollock's and spend $400, $500, $600, they don't think about it. It's a big deal for our little town with all those people, the people and the amount of money that comes to our town. So that's a good thing for our valley. That's all. Thanks.
Thank you. Vice Chairman?
Yeah, I just got a couple of things. I had the opportunity on the 21st to go down to Fort Thomas and celebrate with the Family Dollar. They were awarded the Gold Star status. They was the only store in the region of the Family Dollars and whatever that region entails to receive that, and they did mention that they were the smallest store in the region compared to the cities and stuff, but the Family Dollar was very excited about it, and there was a lot of folks out there, so hats off to them for being such a success down there. And on the 22nd, I traveled to Klondike with Michael. We attended the Air Viper Watershed Alliance meeting, which is an organization that's trying to protect the watershed over in Klondike area and help preserve their water and make sure that they have some sort of jurisdiction of what goes on over there. It's just getting started, but it's going to be fun to watch them and support them. And on the 23rd, I attended the mental health awareness program offered by our health department, Jennifer Labor. Very well attended, a lot of good thoughts and moving forward with that. And then on the 30th, I attended the substance abuse mock car accident at EAC, and I would certainly encourage any of you that hasn't attended that to attend it, because it's eye-opening, it's real, and all the students, or not all the students, I believe the sophomores it was, maybe freshmen from Safford, Thatcher, Pima, Fort Thomas, were all in the stands, were bused there, and they seen what DUI and drugs did and the deaths and the whole process of this event shows people, young people, not only young people, older folks as well, what consequences and what happens at such a tragedy involved with drinking and driving and drugs. So, it comes around every 2 years, not every year, but I would encourage you all to go and see that. So anyway, that would be the end of my report.
Thank you very much, Vice Chairman. My report will be a little briefer. First of all, I appreciate Danny Smith's comments about the event coming up at the fairgrounds, and my comments didn't dignify it. It is a great event. There's it'll draw people to the area, and David Bell. This is one of the things that are near to dear to him. I'm sure that this will be a destination event for years to come. On the 21st of March, which was a Tuesday, there was a Southeastern Arizona Community Action Program meeting that I'm a member of the board on, and talked about assisting families with utilities and how to help them with things like weather stripping and improvements. Then there was county did a great job with the health screening, and on the 23rd, that was on the 22nd, 23rd, along with both the Supervisor Smith and Supervisor Howard went to the Mental Health Action Committee meeting. Later that day, there was a reception for our new county recorder, Polly Merriman, and then the Legislative Policy Committee meeting that we had on the 24th, which is chaired, or at least our representative is Danny Smith, and he does a great job coming in on Fridays to monitor and he even travels down to assist with those meetings from time to time. Rural Transportation Advocacy Council meeting on Monday, March 27th, and then I testified in front of the Senate Transportation and Technology Committee, and advocated for a $311 million rural transportation bill, 3 projects in Graham County that passed. That was successful. The next evening, the newspaper had a lifestyle magazine and most influential reception, and it was no news that I wasn't one of the most influential people, which was just fine. More deserving people were recognized, and rightly so. Then March the 30th, there was a SEGO meeting, Southeastern Arizona Governance meeting. We're transitioning with a new, our executive director is retiring, so we're talking about hiring committees. And then I'll finish out with 2 things: the Legislative Policy Committee, and then yesterday was represented the county at an open house for the Way, which is there on Entertainment Avenue. New church, new leadership, lots of enthusiasm, great turnout, and wish them well in their efforts to improve the lives of people. And that's my report. And we are nearly done with the meeting. We have the opportunity to approve payment of our obligations and debts and handwritten warrants.
So moved.
Chair, I'll second it.
And I'll make that unanimous. Next, Steve McGoy is up with a couple of we're going to enter into a public hearing on 2 items for rezone requests, the downzoning requests. And so we'll have our planning and zoning director present these one at a time.
Good morning again. We're here for a public hearing, reference zone map change 873-22. This is parcel 105-25013. Belongs to Scott Sanders. He's at 570 East Center Street in Pima. His request is to zone the area with his home out of MX and into AR, which will allow him to sell the farm around him and keep his house separate. If he wants to speak to this, or if you want to talk to him, he is here. Our Planning and Zoning Commission voted unanimously to send you a favorable recommendation on this zone change. And I'll answer any questions I can.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that downzoning, eliminating the unlimited uses of an MX zone is always, especially in a urban area, as urban as Pima gets, is excellent. So I would, I'm in favor initially, unless there's information otherwise.
No, I have no issues.
Mr. Sanders, did you want to address us at all on this request?
Have I or will I?
Would you like to?
Whatever you want to do. It's just 1 acre out of, I got 22 acres, I have 22 acres, I sold the rest of it, I got 1 acre for my house.
Very good.
The purpose, the reason for that is that if he'd have to keep 5 acres to keep the zoning. So he has to zone out of MX in order to have a 1 acre parcel.
Very good. Seems rather straightforward, and I always take and I think the board historically has followed, when we can, the recommendations of our Planning and Zoning Commission. So I'll entertain a motion on this.
Unless there,
Sorry, Chairman, I'll move that we approve resolution. Let's see, the zone map change. I need my glasses. 873 -22, a request to change the present MX zone to agriculture residential, as the home's not being used for manufacturing. There at 570 East Center Street in Pima.
Second.
I'll make that unanimous. Thank you, Mr. Sanders, for the application. Thank you very much, Steve. Our next item?
our next item is very similar. It is the owner of the property next door doing the same thing. He has taken a parcel that he bought from Flanders Electric, and he has turned that into a residence. It is now less than 5 acres and has come out of, it needs to come out of MX, so he's asked for the same thing. This is rezone 874-23, the parcel number 105-25009A, and it's the same request, out of MX into AR. The applicant is David Wood. The site address is 622 East Center Street there in Pima. And I don't see Mr. Wood, so if somebody's here to represent that, that's fine. If there's somebody here to speak against it.
Thank you. And again, that's a unanimous approval by P&Z.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Any discussion?
Chairman, I support the unanimous decision of P&Z, and unless there's any other discussion, I'll move that we approve the zone map change to change the present MX zone to agricultural residential at the building there at 622 East Center Street in Pima.
Second.
I'll make that unanimous. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. We are now moving out of our public hearing back into our Board of Supervisors meeting and a call to the public. Is there anyone online who would like to, is there anyone here in the room who would like to respond to call to the public? Seeing none, then we'll go ahead and because it's on the agenda, we don't need a motion to go to executive session. It's on the agenda. We'll be going to executive session to discuss some legal matters with our counsel. And then we'll be coming back in here to adjourn, but we don't know how long we'll be in our executive session, so we'll see most of you next meeting. Thank you. morning again. It's 9:17. We have completed our executive session and are back in to complete the Board of Supervisors session. We don't conduct any business. We discuss items, but can't conduct any business behind closed doors. And so we come into this meeting to take care of if there are matters which have come up during the executive session that need to be discussed or decisions made. And so with that, did you want to preface our motion, Dustin?
Yes. Mr. Chairman, thank you. Sorry, Mr. Chairman, thank you. We're looking for a motion to provide staff with the direction, whether or the board wants to give us direction to retain an appraiser to go forward with the Nature Suite tax lawsuit.
Thank you very much. Any discussion?
Chairman, regarding Nature Suite suing the Graham County and therefore the citizens of Graham County, I'll move that we authorize our county attorney and or county manager to contract with Capstone Realty Resources for a real property appraisal.
And I will be glad to second that.
And I'll make that unanimous, and that motion carries. And we've had our public comments, and so we're going to go ahead and gavel the meeting closed. We're going to go into a work session.